What is going on, Sooner Nation, Surgeaholics? Welcome back to the Sooner Surge Live. It's Tuesday night. Doesn't feel like a Tuesday night, Jeremy, but it is Tuesday. That Monday holiday kind of threw me for a loop. I'm not going to lie. But here we are. It's Tuesday night. Brent Venables press conference today. And game number 2 on the horizon as Houston comes rolling into town. I see some of these comments. And, yeah, the SEC shorts, I'm so glad to be a part of that in the SEC. Stubby says OU wins 51-3, and all I've read about is how terrible we looked. Gotta love Sooner fans. And I want to get to this because Monty follows it up with I've watched 2 to 3 SEC shows this week, and they're not concerned with OU as some of our fans. Let me say this, and I think a lot of the national people may watch the score, but may not watch the whole game.
Exactly, Jay.
So I don't think you get a whole microscopic look as the OU fans that are watching it, because they're looking at every single play. So that's probably why you get the differentials. Yeah,
you're absolutely right. People like me, you, a lot of the Surgeaholics, they watch every play. They watch the game multiple times. If we don't have a right to be upset with abysmal offensive line play, then I just don't know what you want. I was kind of hoping. Speaking of BV and the presser today, I was hoping someone was going to point blank ask, "Hey, Brent, what kind of personnel changes we're going to see on the offensive line this week?" No one did, but they should have.
But real quick, the negativity from OU fans, don't you think it's all centered around O-line? I haven't heard much of anything negative other than the O-line.
That is exactly what it is, Jay. It's the O-line.
So, and hey, Scott, thanks for joining again. Appreciate it. Teams improve the most from week 1 to week 2. If you have the same problems after week 2, then worry. I agree with that 1,000%. I think game 1 to game 2 is when you see the most improvement, and we'll see if OU looks any different up front. I think it's going to be the thing to watch for. I think. Yeah, 1 for 12 on third down. I saw that, John.
Hey, Mez.
I don't think anybody said. Wait. I don't think anybody's saying OU sucks. I think there's a concern about the O-line. That's the difference.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, Jay. It's again, covering a spread doesn't mean anything if there's look, it can be a fact. OU covered the spread. They beat Temple 51-3. That's great. And there's still some concerns at O-line. And Jen asked thoughts on AP poll, Jay.
Not a whole lot of, about what I thought it would be, really. As far as where OU is, are you asking about where OU's at?
Maybe.
You know what's weird is they didn't have an AP poll after 0 week. So, like, I know Boston College probably isn't going to do much, but the fact that they get a quality win over number 10 ranked Florida State is kind of silly. Because
I want to say about Stubby's coming out. Brennan Thompson isn't a solution, unfortunately. I'm still going to say
I agree with you, Stubby.
I know you do. I still think he could be a very valuable part in this offense. For one, he didn't drop balls like Hester. He didn't look good last week, but
I think he can play a part. I just don't think where he was playing as in the type of routes they had him running. I don't think that's his thing. When Hingman went down and threw a wrench into the works, and I wasn't.
Monty's right. Monty, you're right. And even listening to Hatchett's words in the presser, I saw a little clip of him, and his words exactly were, I was kind of shocked. I know he was saying he was shocked that starting center went down so early, but guys, put a true serum in Garrett Hatchett. He was shocked that he was the guy in there. He thought it was going to be Josh Bates.
Hey, I want to answer this question. The obvious answer is offensive line, but to me, it's a couple things. I want to see more down the field passing and running game improved. Paul Feinbaum, Jackson Arnold was on Paul Feinbaum today. Paul Feinbaum pretty much asked him about the offense. Is it going to be, are they going to open up the playbook? And Jackson Arnold pretty much said the next few weeks he would hope so, and they would. So Jen Kane says the 23-13 jump for USC, not surprised. I'm not. I think they beat LSU. I'm not surprised that they jumped that far. Hey, we'll see if they stay there, though.
I saw Eric and Cracker Mac say about getting separation. Look, on the deep ball, he couldn't. He had the false start on the one. He was going to blow by the guy, it looked like. He did get across the middle. There was one early where Jackson Arnold missed him. He had pressure in his face. It was a wide open across the middle to Brennan Thompson. He would have been in open space. I'm just saying I'm not giving up on Brennan Thompson yet. I don't think he's going to be a guy that's going to be playing 70 snaps a game, but he can still do a lot. Chief, thanks for the super. Appreciate you so much, Chief. Every single night. So appreciative. All these people giving up on players at the one freaking game. Give me a freaking break. You guys are getting me fired up now. Get fired up, Chief. Hey, I haven't given up on Brennan Thompson because I've seen a lot of good from him. I have pretty much given up on Devin Hester.
But let me ask you a question, though, because I'm not giving up on Brennan Thompson. I didn't really say I was. But if Nick Anderson's healthy, do you think Brennan Thompson's going to start?
No, he's probably not, Jay.
And I think that's what people are saying is like, yeah,
how many drops did Thompson have?
He can contribute, but is he going to be a starter? That's the question. Now, who do you start if Anderson's healthy, Jeremy? Who are your three?
Well, let me preface it by
Burks and Anderson.
Let me preface it by saying I don't think Nick Anderson's playing this week. So I think you're going to see Brennan Thompson on one outside receiver, Burks in the slot, and the other outside receiver. I want to see Zion Kearney or Raggins. I want to see one of the Zions.
Starting?
Well, Anthony, if he's ready to go, but
I don't think Anthony's ready.
I think they're going to play more this week.
I think Thompson will probably still start, is what I'm kind of.
I just said that.
Okay. I mean,
I said Thompson at one, Burks in the slot, and the other one's going to be one of the Zion guys unless Anthony is ready to go.
You know, you had Petaway talked about today from Brent Venables about how he's been kind of nursing a hamstring over the last few weeks. He's back to full strength. Now, will he get more run? That's what I'm interested to see. Will he get more run? He is a guy that can run inside and outside. So will he get one of the runs there? Micah, thanks for joining tonight. Says, I heard the issue with Thompson was that he was being used for the wrong routes, that he's more of a seam route, long ball player, not ideal for the short routes running across the slants. I kind of agree with Mike on that. I know you disagree, Jeremy, but I
think Brennan. I know that Brennan Thompson, from what we've seen, even last year, can be a big playmaker. He's not a guy that's just been dropping balls left and right. I think he's still going to be a valuable piece, even when Anderson comes back as a deep threat. Got to be better than last week. It was awful. Who's going to start? I already said Z receiver. One of the Z names, Zion Kearney or Zion Raggins, unless Andrew Anthony is ready to rock and roll from the start.
So you don't think Thompson is starting? You think one of the Z's starting? I'm very confused right now.
No, Thompson's on the other side where Anderson plays.
Oh, you're saying Anderson's not playing?
Jeez.
You're saying Anderson.
I don't think Nick Anderson's playing this week, Jay.
Well, Colin, right now I'm drinking water, but before that it was an energy drink. So hopefully it's the water because that's what I need to drink.
Chick-fil-A sweet tea right now.
I gave the wide receivers a C- overall last week. I wasn't impressed. I don't think they had a very good game either, Eric. When you look at it, Burks did good, but Hester had a couple drops. Thompson did okay. I think C's probably about right. It was average.
I disagree.
Nothing stood out to me.
Michael, I just disagree with one thing. I think he's going to play against Tulane. They're going to play him before Tennessee. I agree, Iowa Sooner. Based on what I heard, I'm inferring, I'm reading between the lines here. He said for Everett, he's close. Everett's not playing this week, in my opinion. He said Jake Taylor will be available. I wish he would have said he'll be playing. I wish he would have said he'll be playing, but he didn't.
He said post-game of Temple game, he will play next week.
Today, he said he will be available. Everett is close. I don't think Everett's playing. And then he said Nick Anderson, he said I forget exactly what he said, but he said sooner rather than later. He's not playing this week, I don't think.
Crystal says OU versus USC right now. Who wins? I mean, I disagree with that 100%. Greg God, are you kidding me? After one game that they played,
I think OU's
one
defense
game is all you've seen
stifles.
from both teams. One game is all you've seen from both teams. What?
I think OU's defense could hold USC.
Yeah, LSU's defense held them.
Yeah, I know.
So I think OU would defensively would play pretty well against USC. Here's what I'll say. I think a lot of people overreact after 1 week, and they see a team beat a team and they think they're back or whatever. They see a team struggle, they think they're not any good anymore. And I wouldn't rule LSU out yet. I don't think LSU is a bad team. Now, it was a great win by USC, but at the same time, does that mean that USC is back completely? I'm not ready to see it yet. They could be. It's hard to say after one game. Did they have an awesome performance? Could they definitely be back? Yeah. They looked better defensively. Miller Moss looked good. So right now it's like, yeah, they look good, but I'm not ready to say they're back to being a playoff contender or anything.
Ron, I don't think you've said anything positive in probably the last 10 weeks, but OU has speed. It's not like OU doesn't have speed on defense. I don't like that take. I will say this, OJ. If you remember the Discord last night, I think it went till – I got to commend the Surgeaholics. They were on that thing till about 1:30 in the morning. I left about 11:45. We were all talking about the Cortez Mills stuff and BB's policy. And then today it's turned into the college football 25 bracket play. The Discord is the place to be. I'm just going to say. You should join up.
I agree. And after I got off there and went to bed, they were on there till about 1 a.m. Hey, Lou says OU defense could hold USC. The big question is, can OU defense hold teams week 9? That's been the question under Brent Venables. The first 2 years as I think they've gotten worse as the season's gone along due to injury, depth. I don't know what, but they have. Let me get to this real quick. Fourth quarter Sooner says, thanks for joining Fourth Quarter Sooner. If Houston is as bad as they seem, do we see Hawkins most of the second half? I think it depends on how the offense played. I would have thought you would have seen Hawkins most of the second half against Temple, but they needed to run the offense back out there because they weren't playing that great. So I think Houston is horrendous offensively. I don't think they're horrendous defensively. I mean, they shut that go-go offense down to 27 points, which isn't bad. They got some players on defense, but OU should still win and win easily and score a bunch of points. I mean, OU should score 40 or more. Just go attack Latrell McCutcheon, maybe.
Hey, Woody Washington, I think no one – here's the strangest thing, Jay. No one's even asking BV about Woody Washington, really. Did you hear anyone ask today where he was? No one asked if he's hurt. No one's asking about Woody Washington. I think he's going to play some this week. Jen, I didn't say they should just swap spots. Now, I do have Texas right now as the number 2 team in the country. I don't think they would just switch spots if OU and
hey, real quick, did I just hype up Houston? No.
All you said was their defense held the go-go offense.
What I said is, Eric, you are a huge fan of the go-go offense, as are a lot of people on here. I am included. I thought before they hired Latrell that Brennan Marion would have been a great hire as an offensive coordinator with the go-go offense. All I'm saying is Houston held that offense to 27 points defensively. That's all I'm saying. That doesn't mean they're a world beater. They got 65 new players who have never played there at Houston, okay? They have a revolving door of transfer portal players. There's no chance they should go into Oklahoma and give them a game. I'm not saying that.
Jay, if OU only scores 27 points this week, I'll be really concerned. Larry, yeah, I have Texas number 2. And I think they're going to go into Ann Arbor, and they're going to beat Michigan. And they're going to, in my opinion, show that they deserve that ranking. I mean, Ohio State didn't impress me. Oregon, Texas looked better than all of them.
That was I was reading Bobby's comment about Brandon Drum's hairline. That was pretty funny. I'm not going to lie. I saw him without the hat on.
In the Discord last night, it was great.
You lost your mind, Larry says, on Texas number 2. So, not sure if that's what he's talking about or not. I agree with this, Texas, Jetty. Texas, Michigan will tell us a whole lot. Yep. I agree. I think it's going to tell us that Texas is a good team, a really good team. I think they're going to go in there and take care of business. I would be surprised if they lost that game. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think they're going to win it, Jay. A lot of people are not giving Michigan a chance, which is crazy, but we'll see. We will see. Jay, anything else stand out in the presser? I saw Jen mention the in the weeds part that the breakdown did. I've got it on my queue to watch tonight before I go to bed, but I don't know if you saw it.
I've not seen it yet. The presser was, I think kind of a typical Brent Venables Tuesday press conference. I sometimes feel like it's the same, talking about the same stuff that they've talked about for 2 years. I mean, some of the questions about uh, how is it so difficult to learn the defense, stuff like that they've been asking for 2 to 3 years. I mean, to that, and then when you ask that, Brent Venables will go into a long answer on it. The biggest thing I took away was probably the last question asked, and it was about Kendall Dolby. Brent Venables loves Kendall Dolby. You can tell. He spent a long time on the answer at the end about Kendall Dolby and how much of a improvement he made from last year to this year. His detail, how he does take notes now. He's very detailed, and it's showing. So that's probably the biggest thing I took from it.
Yeah, I love Kendall Dolby. Ricky, let me answer why. One, they look good in the opener. Two, they were a playoff team last year. They have athletes all over the place. They got the great receiver from Alabama. Like, I know they had some guys hurt at running back, but for me, Texas was a team look, if OU beats Texas, they can afford to maybe lose one later, but that's going to be like, I don't think, if you're saying Texas isn't a team to have near the top of the SEC, I don't know what you're watching. Base it on last year, base it on who they have back. Like, it does, but it does if you have a lot of guys. Ricky, it does, because I've been saying the same about OU. I'm basing a lot of OU based on the guys they had last year and coming back on defense.
Yeah, and a couple of things I want to hit real lightning quick here. 42-14, I don't think that's going to happen. I can't remember. I think Bobby put that in there. And then, Ron, this is a good point. No matter if they're good or not, they're going to have better athletes. So that'll be a better test because it's better athleticism out there. And then this is a great comment by Dalpost. Dolby's coverage is surround sound. That's elite.
Dolby surround sound.
I love that, Dalpost. That's really good.
Iowa Sooner says Venables seems much more relaxed this year. I think Allie has taken away a lot of the pressure of coaching the defense. There is that. But to me, Jay, he didn't seem that relaxed today.
I think he was pretty relaxed. I mean,
I wonder if he was a little under the weather. It seemed like
it's game week, Jeremy. It's a game week. It's not like off season. He's going to be ready for. I mean, he's going to be a little more uptight. Chief says Horn's defense lost a lot. Michigan can beat them up in the trenches with their O line versus Texas D line. I think it will be close. I do think that's probably the one advantage Michigan does have is O line versus Texas D line. Texas did lose a lot defensively up front. Now their linebackers are really good and really fast. But up front, I think they lost a lot.
OU Houston spread, I think, is 26. And Gray God, that's an absolute ridiculous comment. It's absolutely ridiculous. I can sit here and be negative. I have been. To say BV knows we're in trouble, that is so ridiculous. He's the most confident guy there is.
Yeah. I mean, it's been 1 week, and some teams that have won a game, people think are going to be in the playoff. It's kind of outrageous.
There's been a lot of too much exaggeration on every end.
I agree. Now, like, I'm one of them. I watched the game and I thought Miami looked awesome. But then you got to also sit back and think, how bad is Florida? So I don't know. Danny says, I think BB does know we are in huge trouble.
You can think that. I don't think so. Oh, yeah, the one at Rudy's, he was joking all around and very relaxed today. I think he may have been under the weather. He just didn't seem himself there. Max Todd says Bama players were not upset when Isaiah Bond went to Texas. I'll put it that way. And maybe they weren't. They've got guys everywhere too, but I think Bond's pretty special talent-wise. I don't know about off the field or in the locker room.
You know who's really good is that freshman Wingo receiver.
Yeah.
He's really good.
I agree, Matt. this game this weekend, and again, drop it in the chat if you're going. I'm planning on being there, Jay, with two of my boys. It's going to be a fun night celebrating one of my son's birthdays.
Drop by Stutzman's tailgate.
I got tickets yesterday.
And drop by Stutz tailgate.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Matt, that's a great point though. It really is. Let's see. And I'm by no means saying I'm not talking about any team in particular. I'm just saying a lot of overreactions. And after 1 week, there's been plenty of years where a team lost in week 1 and people wrote them off. And this was even in the 4-team playoff. And then they come back and playing their best ball at the end of the year. I would not. I mean, I thought Nussmeier looked pretty good. LSU to me, I don't think they're done at all. I think they could come back and have a great year.
Yeah. Kyle is going. Someone's going to be at Rudy's. You got to get the cream corn. It's top notch.
I tell you what is kind of funny, though. The people that are sitting there saying certain things about one team or one game are the same people that aren't saying anything about Oregon. And they almost lost an FCS team. So that kind of is laughable. I mean, if we're going to talk about, USC being awesome because they beat LSU, I mean, what about Oregon? Are they going to be trashed because they didn't look very good against?
Yeah, it's too much.
You can't do that. You can't do it off one game.
Yeah, breakfast burritos are good at Rudy's too. Hey, Chief T-Bird, I will drop it in the Discord, maybe a meetup spot where a lot of the Surgeaholics can gather before.
Good deal, Greg. I'm glad to see that. I think that's fair. I was listening to the radio today. Katie McFarland had him at like 14 or 15. I was kind of surprised, but
yeah, I'm not going to get into the Dan Lanning crap that we were on the Discord last night talking about.
This is interesting. Lou says the LSU guy Daniels won Heisman with 3 losses. The talk about Travis Hunter is legit. He's the best player in college football. How many losses do they have to have, for him to still have a chance to win the Heisman? 3 losses, he'll have a chance. 4 losses, will have a chance. 5 losses, will have a chance.
Playing both ways.
He's the best player in college football, right? I mean, I think he is.
Best skill position, yeah, for sure.
Keaton says anything over 3 is tough.
I agree.
Hunter,
no,
you're
absolutely not Hunter.
Hunter, it won't happen, bro.
Not 6+. They'll forget
no
him.
shot. No shot.
First off, if they have 6+ losses, then he's not going to be elite because he's going to have to be elite for them to win. If he ain't it, they're not going to. If he's elite, they won't have that many losses. You're wrong, Hunter, on that.
Bobby, the reason you throw it 49 times and only score 24 points, here's why.
Dink and dunk.
Listen, Dylan Gabriel was 13 of 13 on passes. Listen to me closely. 13 for 13 on passes behind the line of scrimmage. Okay? Then he was like 11 of 12 on passes from 0 to 5 or 10 yards.
0 to 3 yards.
Yeah, so that's how, because you're throwing everything. First off, for them to throw the ball 49 times, and I mean, you would have thought he was throwing for 500 yards. I mean, they just did a lot of dink dunks.
I don't want this to be a DG versus Jackson Arnold, but you can never say that Jackson Arnold can't sling it around better than DG. We know he can. We know he can throw the deep ball.
Here we go.
We know he can, Eric. DG can't. He can't. Absolutely cannot.
In the words of Brian Kelly, and we're sitting here again. Talking about the same things. There we go.
Change the subject, Jay.
I'm just the Dylan Gabriel stuff. I can't do it tonight. It's like
I didn't bring it up, Jay.
Circle back around on it.
I didn't bring it up. Paul Feinbaum was really impressed with Arnold. I thought that was interesting.
What did you think of his interview with Paul Feinbaum? Anything stick out to you from it?
Here's what I'm going to say about Jackson Arnold. Hold your horses, guys. Don't think I'm the only guy I talk about. Here's what I'll say about Jackson Arnold. Everything he does, it seems he does the right way. His interviews are really good. He doesn't say anything that's shocking. He seems very sound. To me, I love how he represents.
Wait. What's that to do with this play or anything, though?
You asked me about the interview on a Feinbaum, Jay. I'm talking about the interview.
Oh,
are you going to talk about the play? or the interview.
I was asking if anything stood out from the interview, not like how he spoke or anything. But
yeah, he talked a little bit about they think the playbook the next 2 weeks are going to take more shots. That's one thing he said.
Yeah. I see a lot of stuff in here on the chat.
No, I'm not, Grey God. I'm not.
They did have short fields. It led to less yardage, but they didn't throw the ball down the field enough. They got to throw the ball down the field, and they got to open up the playbook. I think to get a true – here's the crazy thing, which I think is kind of wild. You know, the vanilla stuff you heard talked about, they didn't open it up. I do think it's crazy that they threw the ball that many times against Arizona last year in the bowl game with Seth Luttrell in his first, and in this game they didn't really go down the field at all. So,
Jay, you can shake it all you want.
Shake it, huh?
In my opinion, they did not trust the O-line. Period. They're not going to tell you that, Jason. That's, in my opinion, that's what it was. They didn't trust the O-line to protect.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Well, I think you're going to find out against Houston what they do offensively. I think the more of the playbook supposedly will be opened up. So let's see. Crystal, thanks again for the super. Means a lot. Hey, you see my beard? It's starting to kind of grow in, Crystal. Per your bet that I took with Georgia Clemson. What is the most likely scenario in 2024? Another Trump. Well, that's I'm not going to go political. So I'm not going to go political. So I'll go either return of Casa Bonita or OU SEC championship. Well, Casa Bonita is not coming back. So I would say an OU SEC championship, even though I don't believe that's going to happen. That's a tough question to answer, Crystal.
I see Eric saying Hawkins Tatum is the way to go. First off, there's no chance Michael Hawkins is starting over Jackson Arnold unless there's an injury. I love Tatum. Absolutely love him. And I understand the line was bad the other day. I thought Jackson Arnold was way more mobile than people are giving him credit for being. Like, to me, he scrambled really well. So I don't understand. It's not like he's a sitting duck back there.
Mess says OU does not have to open up the playbook against non-conference. Okay, here's where I see where you're coming from, and I see a lot of people agreeing with this, but I also disagree in a sense, and here's why. You got a guy like Jackson Arnold who hasn't played quarterback in many games. I think you need to run some of the offense you're going to run in SEC play to give him the confidence for whatever it is for a quarterback, either reading routes, whatever it may be. I also think you got a mixture of O-line right now. You got new receivers. I think you need to not hold back at all. I think Houston and Tulane put it out there. It's not like you're – and I heard Brent Venables say this on his coach's show. All the people, all the teams, they all do this, all the motions, different motions. He said it's all the same offenses. Pretty much everything's similar. Everybody's running the same stuff. They disguise it with motions. So I don't think, it's not like these SEC teams haven't seen the offenses OU's going to run. So I don't see a point in hiding it. I don't see a point in waiting. I say put it out there, see what you got. I mean, these guys need experience on the field in game reps.
And I love the first scramble. Teague's bringing it up here. First off, his elbow landed on the yard line. It should have been a first, and I cannot believe they overturned that and said he was short. But I absolutely thought that was a great scramble and effort to get where he did. Like, I'm not going to sit here and criticize Jackson Arnold's play because I don't think there was much to be critical of outside of maybe an RPO that he missed. He missed Thompson going across the middle on that one.
Hey,
he got out of the guys. A lot of his completions, if you go back and rewatch it, he got lit when he threw the ball and he made the completion. One was a TD to Burks, just got blindsided as he threw the ball. Like, the one to Farouk was top notch.
Hey, fourth quarter Sooner says less RPOs. O-line isn't going to get in position, run the ball. What do you think about that? Less RPOs? You with that? Agree or disagree?
I don't like the RPO, Jay. Unless you're throwing from it. If you're running the ball, don't even go attack.
Teague, I would be down for this all day long, every day, every week. I'd love it. I think that'd be great. I think it'd be awesome. Yeah, he would have been 20 of 25. I don't think Arnold played a bad game. I don't understand people saying Arnold played a bad game. I don't
They don't know football. Jay, I'm going to say it right now. You don't know football if you said he played a bad game. That's ridiculous. A bad game? Wow. If you want to say his numbers weren't great yard-wise, you're absolutely right. You cannot say he played a bad game.
Crystal, here's my take on the game Saturday. And I was 1 for 3 on our game day picks that we did on our game day video that we released on game days. So you may not want to go with what I pick, but I'm picking Arkansas in that game. And it's not because I live in Arkansas. It's because I think Bobby Petrino being back, I think offensively they're going to put up points. And so that's kind of what I'm going with. I think it'll be a good game, though. It's kind of a toss-up.
Yeah, the offensive line played a bad game against Temple, Grey God. Jackson Arnold was not great. That's just as ridiculous. I saw some great throws from Jackson Arnold. If you're telling me the Farouk throw wasn't great, you don't know football. Sorry.
I don't really want to get into Jackson Arnold talk on this show tonight.
Was the Farouk throw phenomenal?
Great throw with the guy draped all over him, yes.
Okay, that was a great play.
That was a great throw. I have not
4 TDs, no picks, set a record. His number, yardage-wise, was not great, but he played a great game.
The fact of the matter is this. Offensively, the second half was about as bad as the second half of you could play. It was
pitiful.
Bad. It was pitiful second half. Slam my fist down again, Ron. I already did it once. I don't need to do it again.
That's probably the best thing you could say what Chris said.
That's probably the best comment.
If you want to say he wasn't phenomenal, I'll give you that. I didn't say phenomenal. I said he was great. He made winning plays with his feet and his arm throughout the game when he had pressure in his face. You can't say that you doubt Arnold after that game. That's fair.
Hey, David, great question. With what you've seen so far, how do you see the OU versus Tennessee game? With what I've seen so far, which isn't a whole lot in one game, I mean, Tennessee looked really good against Chattanooga. Nico looks like the real deal. I watched a few things post press conference. Some guys that talked about Tennessee and cover Tennessee. They were not impressed with Tennessee's defensive line against Chattanooga. They thought they should have been dominating since they are picked to be the best defensive line. So we'll see. I think right now that game, to me, I have it kind of as a toss-up. Now, I think I need to see more over the next few weeks to see what Nico does on the road this week against NC State. I know NC State's not great, but it is a road game to see how he performs. I need to see what OU does over the next 2 weeks, specifically Tulane. I need to see how they do. But that's going to be – to me, that could be a make or break game for the OU season. So it's a huge game.
Hey, I can tell you got tongue in cheek there, Ron, because if that's the greatest performance you've ever seen, you haven't seen a lot of amazing performances because it was not the greatest performance. I've never said that. Hey, about the pumping your fist, Jay. I've seen Jay slam his fist on the table. There's a YouTube short. It may be the worst YouTube short I've ever seen in my life of him doing that.
Why do you bring that up?
Because I can. Jen says Jackson did not play a bad game. They know Jackson Arnold can throw the deep ball, and they were working on pass over the middle. I don't think they trusted the O-line, Jen. I think that's the big issue.
Based on some of the scores I'm seeing picked here, some of you guys are really low on Oklahoma right now. I mean, if OU loses by 17 or 20 points to Tennessee at home, then it's going to be a long season for Oklahoma.
It's going to be bad, Jay.
I mean, if you guys are right in here that are saying they're going to lose by 17 to 20 points at home to Tennessee, then this season's going to be a long year.
Dalpo,
I don't think you're right, though. I don't think they're losing.
Dalpo, I agree with your comment. Sawchuk is getting a lot of unfair blame. There is one area where Gavin Sawchuk wasn't great in, for sure. Pass protection was bad. Running the ball, he never really got a seam. He was being really patient, and they weren't giving him a hole. I think we see a different one, a different Gavin Sawchuk this week. At least I hope, because I hope there's personnel changes on the offensive line. I'm going to say one right now that needs to happen. I want Josh Bates at center this week.
I would kind of like to see that too. I don't know if we will, but I'd kind of like to see it as well. So
I don't think they will.
Mess says Jack Darnold's the record books after the Temple game. Nothing posted in the chat with that. Record books, I think, for the 4 touchdowns, if I remember right. Bobby's still picking OU 37-27 over Tennessee. I think now some of you in here, like I said, the overreactions after game 1. I'm not even saying for Oklahoma. I'm saying the other direction. I was watching SEC Mike tonight. Cousin Shane, who's a Tennessee guy, was talking about Tennessee, and he brought up the year they looked really good in game 1, and then they were going to, I believe, West Virginia to play, and they got smoked, and nobody thought that was going to happen. You never know. I mean, they could go in NC State this week, and Nico could throw 3 interceptions. And then the whole theory of Tennessee, how good they looked, could be totally different. I think you got to wait till at least 2 to 3 games in to really make judgment on any team.
Hey, and I do think his legs are going to be a much more serious weapon than people think. And then I'm going to agree with Dalpois because, I mean, Bobby, Jay, I've said it since the season schedule came out. I think 9-3 gets in the playoff. I've said it. With OU's schedule, if they're 9-3 tied with a lot of teams, OU's schedule is going to win out.
I would agree 9-3. I think they'll get in. Why? Why are you saying that?
That was the comment. Dalpois said Bobby seems to think 9-3 is automatically in the playoff. I agree. A lot of people don't agree, but I do agree with Bobby there.
The only way that doesn't happen, I think, is if
there's 3 10-2s.
Like, for instance, like if your 3 losses are to.
You're going to do this again. I'm going to disagree.
Yeah, I don't want to get into it. It's too much. It's too much to talk to get into. No, he says good thing you'll be 12-0.
Ron, people were absolutely calling for Jeff Levy that game. People were questioning if OU's offense had anything because they weren't taking shots. Yes. People were doing the same thing last year. That is correct.
Let me bring up last year for a second. I don't like to talk about last year, but yes, you had the overreaction after the SMU game. And then you had the overreaction after the Texas game because everybody thought OU's for sure playoff, not losing a game, maybe 1 game. They lost 2. You got to wait and see, people. You got to wait and see. And I'm not talking just about OU. I'm talking about every team in the nation right now. There's some There's some teams right now that people have bought all in on. And I'm going to say one of those teams right now that I'm not sold on completely yet. The Notre Dame hype. A lot of people, and they beat A&M. They did. They had a good game. But are you ready to say they're a national championship contender?
Their schedule's pretty easy. And
are you ready? Are you ready to say they're national championship contender?
No, I've never said Notre Dame.
No, okay,
I don't even think
I hear a lot of people saying that.
Hey,
that's what I'm saying.
Eric, here's the deal. I don't know whose record's going to be at the end of the year. Don't know it. But I know that there's enough great teams on OU's schedule. They're going to have more quality wins than anyone else. If they go 9-3, it's a fact. OU's quality wins should be higher. They'll be higher than any other SEC's team schedules. So I don't understand. They're no matter who they lose to, they have enough great teams on their schedule, highly ranked teams, that they're going to have quality wins.
Chiefs asking for the 12-0. Mess says 12-0, God believe. Shiler, Anthony Angie made OU way easier to defend. Last year, you're right. That did kill him. Mark says amen to Jerem, whatever he just preached. He preached a sermon just then. Marcus Freeman's doing good things at Notre Dame. I agree. I'm just not ready after 1 game beating A&M, who A&M never performs in big games, guys. I mean, what
did Notre Dame do last year?
What?
Notre Dame had some bad losses last year, didn't they?
I agree. But I think he's going to get them to that next level eventually. And I wasn't sold on him at first. So
Hub says Hatchett will be the center this week. Sexton and Fabechi at guards. Tarquin and Taylor at tackles. And here's what I'm going to say, Hubs. You might be right. It is a travesty. A travesty to have Sexton at guard. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah, I'd rather have Sexton at tackle and Ozida at guard.
Tarquin at bench. Like, Sexton is a tackle, in my opinion.
I'm with you. I'm with you. And the stuff they run with the guards, I think, I mean, he's pretty tall. You don't see very many tall guards, right?
Hey, and Skyler, this is my point. If OU loses to Ole Miss, Texas, and Bama, that means OU would have beaten who? They would have beaten Missouri,
Tennessee,
Auburn, Tennessee,
LSU.
And 3 of those on the road, or 2 of those on the road, right? 3 of those on the road.
It doesn't matter. You can't figure it out. You can't figure it out till you see how things play out with every team. There's too many teams up there. You can't figure it out that way.
I'm going to be at the game. If I see the same offensive line with Spencer, if they trot out there, my 2 boys will be with me, but I'll be pulling some hair out, my own. I'll be ripping it out.
Yeah.
Hey, Eric, that doesn't guarantee nothing as a double negative, so you're saying it guarantees it all. Thank you very much.
Eric's right. It means nothing. The 3 losses, depending on who they are, you don't know until season play. LSU, you could be LSU, Missouri. Missouri could have 3 losses. LSU could have 4 losses.
We don't know that now. Why are we talking about it?
You don't. That's what I'm saying. You don't know it. So move on.
If OU goes 9-3, they're going to be in the playoff. I'll keep saying it till they're not.
How close are your seats to the OU bench?
They're not close to the bench.
Okay. So you can't really scream and yell.
I'll scream and yell
at your opinions. Hey, Skyler, I think SEC's getting 5 teams in. Specifically, ACC, there's no shot they're getting 1-1, right? No shot anymore.
Correct.
I mean, Clemson already has 1 loss. I know it was to Georgia.
I didn't guarantee. I said, I think I'm going to stick with my opinion. Like, it's my opinion. I can stick with it until it's wrong. And then I'll say I'm wrong. I just don't think there's going to be 4 teams ahead of OU if OU's 9-3.
And Chief's right about this. If a team beats OU and is 9-3, they're going to take the team that beat OU. That's why I said Ole Miss and Missouri are the ones you need to win, because those are the teams likely to be 9-3 with you. Based on their schedule, those 2 games are the ones you need to win. I think you.
Okay, Eric. So did Bobby. So call Bobby out too. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Eric, you always say 100%, 100%. Okay, I can't guarantee anything, guys. I'm not some kind of person, supernatural person who can make things happen like that. It's an opinion. I apologize.
Yeah, and at the same time, what he says here is, I mean, guys, OU could go 10-2. I mean,
when people say things like so-and-so's greater than so-and-so, no, you can't prove any of this. This is what makes college football and opinions great.
What would the dynamic be? What would the dynamic be if Texas loses to Michigan? What will people think about Texas after that?
They're done, Jay.
You think?
They're done. Hey, they won't call you out, Bobby. Sorry, I yelled. They had to turn the YouTube volume down because I'm yelling.
Yeah, you're getting pretty loud, Jeremy. I'm not going to lie. That's the reason we're here, to give his opinions. That's fine, and that's right. It's an opinion-based topic we all love. That's exactly right. That's what everybody's saying. Hey,
and when I say guarantee, obviously it's not guaranteed. Like, come on. It's called a hyperbolic language. Hyperbole.
I don't need an English lesson or whatever you're trying to teach. You do get loud, Robert says. Hey, do you have a trivia tonight? You got a trivia or not?
I don't.
Oh, I don't either. Maybe we can get one here.
The beauty of it is, Eric, you can't say he's wrong. You can, but no one knows who's right and wrong yet. That's the beauty of it all. No one knows who's right and wrong.
Do not ever stop being loud. It's fantastic. Hey, speaking of loud, when's the trumpet coming back out?
Yeah, I think I told Chief it'd be tonight, but no one gave me a song request, Jay. I need to practice a song. Bring it. Dr. Dre tomorrow night. What do you guys want on here?
Dr. Dre on trumpet?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, be somewhat supportive or not. Always negative. Either works here in the live chat. That's right. Hey, and because of you, everybody in this chat is the reason this channel is what it is. You guys keep it lively. You guys keep it coming. And it's speak your mind. That's kind of what it is. As long as you're clean and we don't have to ban anybody like last night, then everything will be good. Hey, but before we move on, FanStop, check them out, www.thefanstop.com. Man, I got in the mail today my shirt of the month, along with a hat, which can't show you the hat yet. We'll see if we can later on as the season moves on. But it is elite, is all I can say. The shirt's elite, the hat's elite. Go sign up. Use code Surge, you'll get 10% off your first 3 months. Every time I get this box in the mail, this package, my wife's like, "What's that? A shirt?" I said, "Yeah." And every time she says, "Oh, I like that one." It never fails. I mean, the design, the colors, it's great. Go sign up.
My wife's wearing a lot of my shirts. And I agree with Bobby on this. And look, I don't know what a quality win is going to be. Okay? I can't predict the weather. I can't make people say certain things because I can't. I don't have that much control. I can't tell you what's going to be a quality win or not. But I do know the SEC means more is what everyone says. So I would think OU's got one of the toughest schedules out there. They're going to have some quality wins.
Yeah, Hub says, guys, who is the wide receiver that steps up and plays a big role the remaining of the year? My call is Zion Raggins. If a lot of people are high on Raggins. I have a sneaky feeling that I think Petaway is going to surprise some people and get a lot more playing.
I don't know if he's fully healthy, Jay.
That's kind of who I'm going to go with. I'm going to stick my neck out there and say Petaway.
Maybe. I can't wait. Hey, isn't Eric? Aren't you going to the game this weekend? I know Bobby is. I think Chief's going. Look like Kyla's going. Someone else said Michael Hammond's going. I'm going.
A lot of people are
cannot wait.
Jen will be there. Jen Kane's usually there. Greg got says, hopefully Ivan need a bigger body out there. He does give you a big body. I just don't. Do you think he's ready already? I don't know. I don't know if he's ready.
He's ready for a jump ball, Jay. That's about it. What's more important, quality wins or no bad losses, you think, Jay?
I like the quality wins. Winning at LSU would be huge. I see people saying the people that are saying the LSU game wouldn't be huge are the same people that are giving USC a ton of credit for beating them.
On a neutral site.
So I don't understand that. I mean, you have to wait and see how that plays out.
Yeah, you have to wait.
Looks like a defensive end running around. I mean, hey, I will say this with Scott. Scott, and you're from a Tennessee fan, and so you have this outside view that a lot of OU fans have this crimson-colored glasses, and they think every player out there is just the best thing. When I watched the game for the second time, I specifically watched Hester, and I know people have said he's really fast. He didn't look. He didn't look comfortable running around. I don't know if that's what Scott's trying to say. It didn't look right to me. I don't know. I kind of agree with Scott on this.
And Jay, Arkansas State last year, Petaway had how many catches?
9.
What has happened to him?
Maybe he wasn't healthy. I don't know.
Like, I thought Jaquez Petaway was going to be someone we were going to see a lot last year. We didn't. And now that room is so depleted, surely we're going to see Jaquez Petaway this week.
I think so. I think you will. Crystal says, you guys thinking we cover against Houston? I do. I think they cover.
Yes, I do too.
Feeling it'll be close. Crystal, if it's a real close game and you're talking one in possession or something, the live's going to be wild after the game. I promise you. And there won't be a whole lot of happy people.
I'm going to say something not nice. Bagman says Hester needs Gorilla Glue for his hands. Very disappointing so far. You know what's sad, Bagman? The deep ball in the end zone, he wouldn't have caught it with Gorilla Glue. He didn't put his hands up. I know they were fighting, but literally his hands.
To be fair,
move up.
To be fair, let me say this. The Hester stuff, the only reason people are upset with Hester is because of everybody that that has been reporting that he's the real deal. Otherwise, people would have been like, they wouldn't have thought there was anything great from Hester. But the hype train has been so big on JJ Hester. Oh my gosh, this guy, when Gibson went down, they're going to be fine because JJ Hester. That's why people were like, whoa, I thought he was going to be great. I think that's what really made people kind of, but.
Yeah. And I hope Thompson is the guy like Hollywood Brown. I don't know, but Bobby says built, and I hate to do this at the 50-minute mark, Jay, but
it's time. It's time. It's time.
Built by Schmitty or broken by Schmitty. I'm going to give my take on it right now. You ready, Jay? There is zero chance that Schmitty would be to blame. If you want to blame anyone, it would be BV. Because here's my opinion. Schmitty is doing what, if they say, hey, we want you to go so hard in the summer, look, they hired Schmitty. They know what Schmitty's about. So stop with the Schmitty stuff. First off, it's not a correlation, okay, in my opinion. But second of all, that's exactly what they wanted. So for people to say, well, it's all Schmitty's fault, that's an absolute ridiculous take, Jay, in my opinion.
Well, I think I said it in the Discord. If people want to blame Schmitty for all the injuries, send me a document documented of all the injuries they've had under Schmitty in his career at Oklahoma, and then same thing when he went to A&M. If you can provide facts saying these injuries, these are how many injuries each team had every year, to see if there's a correlation, go for it. Bring it on.
Hey, Jay,
Bring it on. That's your homework. Bring it on. I'm fine. Bring it on. I want to see it. But here's what I'll say. Some of these injuries, what are you going to blame a strength and conditioning guy for getting your team ready for the season? I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. And the fact of the matter is, people saying that, there's more people saying Schmitty got me to the NFL.
Yeah. Look, practices should be harder. I've heard Schmitty, I heard Jackson Arnold, I heard Danny Stutzman. I heard them all say this. It was a brutal camp. So to me, that they're putting in a lot of hard work, because part of my deal on injuries, I don't think a lot of teams practice very hard, so they're not used to getting hit. So that's the other side of it.
Hey, and Ron says Schmitty's old school wants bulk and not so much flexibility.
Maybe, Jay.
Well, thank goodness, because OU was not going to be SEC ready in the upfront defensive line without Schmitty. And that's a fact. There is no chance they get guys in the middle over 300 pounds without Schmitty. Am I wrong?
It cracks me up, Jay, that people want 300-pounders, but then they say that they don't want Schmitty to work them so hard.
Yeah, I don't understand the correlation until somebody can show me facts. Hey,
it is the same in the NFL. There's injuries happening all college football, NFL, everywhere. Hit the table again, Jay.
Hit the table again. Yeah.
Hit the table again.
I just think it's show me some facts. I mean, what's weird, I didn't hear anybody, no OU fan in 2000 complaining about Schmitty. Did you?
No, but Eric, the D-line is Schmitty's D-line.
Here's the fact of the matter. It all comes down to OU winning. If OU was winning, like last year, if they had made the playoffs,
they won 51-3 though.
But if they would have made the playoff last year, not one person in this chat would be blaming Schmitty for injuries.
Yeah,
that
is the most.
It's an excuse. Thing. It's an excuse. They're tired of not winning a national championship. They have a guy get injured. They're going to blame now the strength and conditioning guy. I mean,
part of the deal is when you're banged up and you don't rest.
Josh, I like this comment. Maybe the offense is so banged up because the defense beat them up in the scrimmage.
Jay, were you around in 2010?
Was I?
Yeah, we were born in 77. We're men. We're 47.
Yes. What about 2010?
I don't know.
I know that Schmitty left for what, 4 years? Hunter, I don't know if you could help me out here. I think Schmitty left in 2017, maybe. Go see if they had big injuries from 17 to 20 under Lincoln Riley and Bob.
Let's do it before tomorrow. This could be a great topic to start with. Hey, Someone said, Jay, I got to find it. It says, how many people can we get to give Jay a super chat if you bang the table again?
There you go. It's like that.
Hey,
Is that what you wanted?
I've got to ask. It was about the sponsor. Greg got said, Schmitty, proud sponsor of Sooner Surge. Hey, here's what I say. We definitely aren't sponsoring Schmitty. If you want us to sponsor you, though, reach out. I'll shout your company out here. I'll give it a lot of passion, too, if you want. Reach out to ousportsroundup@gmail.com. Tell me what you want to say. I'll say it.
Ask Notre Dame and A&M fans about Smitty. Once again, ask. So you want me to ask teams that never win championships? I mean, I don't understand. What ask him. I'm confused. Man,
Built the table in Arizona.
Hard. My hand kind of hurts. Is that a Schmitty injury if I heard it, you think?
Absolutely. Hey, I got to say, my son got hurt today.
We're talking about Schmitty. I hit my hand on the table. I injured it. Schmitty effect.
Yep, that's what we got to say.
Schmitty
Delane, thank you. Only 40 likes? What? Must be the Schmitty effect. Come on. Hit the like. If your thumb's hurt, make it happen. Hit the like.
Chief, you're the best, bro. Chief's the best.
Chief will do what he says he's going to do, okay? Hey, I cannot wait.
I believe Schmitty's one of the only strength and conditioning guys to win a national championship with at least 2 teams, right?
I believe you're right, Jay.
Florida and OU. And by the way, I think he made the Natty with 3 teams. I may be wrong, but so I guess we could say that. If you want to go there, Grey God, I mean, you brought it up. If you want to go there.
Yeah, maybe Grey God wants to go there. I don't know, Jay. You might get hurt going there, Jay.
Nebraska.
Hey, and we've got I'd like to ask some former players about Schmitty, but of course
we got 2 coming on next week. We got Daniel Brooks, played under Schmitty, and you got Trent Rattery, played under Schmitty. So
that's right. Hey, all I know is tomorrow's Wednesday. It's hump day. Saturday is going to be here quickly. 6:45 kick versus Houston. We're going to be on here again tomorrow night. Hit the like before you get off of here, please. Please hit the like before you get off. It helps our channel out. Thanks to everyone who's been on the chat, who's been in the Discord every single night and day. If you want to join up, the link's in the description. Thanks to the supers tonight. Chief T-Bird, appreciate it. I will be dropping in the Discord where we will be at the game if we want to meet up. Love to meet everyone and have a chat. Guys, gals, we will see you tomorrow night on Wednesday. Have a wonderful Wednesday.